Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
We just finished practice. We're still at our training center.
What's the biggest difference in your training for beach volleyball as opposed to the court? Like, what's the biggest, like physically, what are the big differences there?
Well, physically, yeah, the sand, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's different skills, like a lot more ball control in the beach. And I think also it's more individually based, like indoors, a lot of coach run stuff, whereas here it's more up to us what we want to do as a team, because you don't have a coach out on the court with you. So we need to ensure that we're prepared and comfortable when we're out there on our own. So it's a lot of it is more up to us, which is good, but it's also challenging because you can lose focus easily and you don't have someone always on you, like forcing you to train.
And it's just the two people in the sand, so like you can't getting exploited all the time, so you have to be performing, or else if one person's not, then
you can't like sub out, or
you can't, there's no sub, like you stuck there, and like you might want to have to figure it out, or else like it's not going to work out.
Your past year, Kacie, I see you've been all over the world, New Zealand, Germany, Italy. So how do you stay on a strict, if you're training 6 days a week, how do you stay on that training and diet regimen when you're traveling so much?
It's definitely a big challenge. I think that's something we just learned in China. We didn't really perform our best in China. And looking back, it's like, was our training okay leading up to it? When you get there, you have to make sure you're there for the right time change. It's definitely something that comes with the experience. Like, I've been playing a couple of years now, so I'm learning sort of what works and what doesn't. You get used to what countries, like we know we had to show up early for China because we know it's going to be hard getting a cab and
12-hour time change.
12-hour time change. It's definitely a huge challenge, and I think that's
especially with like food and stuff too, because their culture is like totally different from us. So
and I think that's something that sort of separates the good and the bad teams, is learning how to deal with that. And not everything's always going to work out, but you have to find a way to perform. You can't stress like, oh, I didn't have my certain meal this morning. Like, you can't let things like that just you.
Self-management, for sure.
Yeah, and that's something we're working on. Like, we're still a pretty young team, so I think that's going to be a big difference maker for us, is just self-management and learning to deal with that kind of stuff. It's challenging.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I'll let you get back to your center and your training. And if there's anything you need, just reach out. And thanks so much for your support.
Yeah, thanks for the chat, and thanks for your support.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.